Church Day week. And as Tuesday is often the day that I release my podcast, I thought I would record just a short message to check in and offer a little bit of be honest sharing about where I am on this journey of Worship is Life, of the Helen Keller Spiritual Life Collaborative, of be love, be honest, be useful, and what's emerging specifically this week as we get ready to celebrate New Church Day on Friday. I've been reflecting a lot on the legacy of leaving that lives in my familial line, and I'm guessing lives in a lot of our familial lineages. My last grandparent died recently. He was 101 years old, and after a very long, full, healthy, adventurous life. And he's one of those figures in my familial line that left. He left his family of origin first he left to join the circus, then he went into the Navy, then he left his Catholic upbringing to marry my Methodist grandmother. You know, he went his own way, which is, we could call it a legacy of leaving, but we could also call it a legacy of people going their own way. And I'm so grateful for that legacy, right? I wouldn't exist had he not made those choices. And many of those choices of going our own way have led to incredible things, incredible new adventures, new discoveries, new possibilities, living new values into being. Like, I'm all about that. And my whole orientation to life has been really always about that. Being faithful to myself and to my calling and to the call of adventure, the call of going our own way. And that call, that journey has led me through many twists and turns into the ministry of the Swedenborgian Church, of which I am a part, which in many ways is an organization full of individuals who are faithful to that call to go our own way. One of the central teachings of the Swedenborgian Church is the importance of spiritual freedom, that we're not meant to be compelled by anybody else, but must be faithful to our own sense of the truth, our own love, our own grounding. And I love that. It was wonderful to discover a community of people going their own way who could be unique and different and free together. Sometimes the Swedenborgian Church of North America has been characterized as the island of misfit toys, right? People who really are unique and fully themselves and yet find community and connection because of this underlying doctrine that honors our uniqueness. One of the other phrases that often comes up in Swedenborgian community is this understanding that we are all distinguishably one, that we are united, but through our distinctions, through our differences. And we are meant to be different. We are meant to be a beautiful array of different beings that are united at our core in this experience of oneness, of love and truth and usefulness. So I'm all about going our own way. And what I've been journeying with this, I don't know for how long, it's been a bit of a fever pitch, really since burying my grandfather recently, is some of the hurt that comes along with going our own way, right? When we go our own way, we often leave behind others who don't want to go that way, right? When we choose to move in a new direction, to have different interests, different passions, we sometimes have to go by ourselves, right? And it takes time to find others who share those passions and dreams. And we often leave hurt behind us because those who didn't want to go that way maybe wished or longed that we would have stayed put. At the same time that I honor and love this lineage of going my own way, I often have had envious feelings emerge when I have met people who have carried on a familial legacy or line. I experienced this a lot up in Freiburg with kind of farming families who loved what they were learning from their parents and wanted to carry it forward. And there was just this beautiful offering up, right? Generation to generation of a way of being and a way of living. And that's also beautiful. That's the thing. Going our way is amazing and beautiful, but also having a space that's carved out for you, that is aligned with you, where you can use your gifts, where the previous generation kind of helps to support and make room for your emergence and your well-being. That's pretty beautiful too. And I recognize that some of this envy that I have felt for that way of living is part of this tension of being a part of a family that has so often gone its own way, and that while that is beautiful, it's a sacrifice. What is sacrificed is often that feeling of connection and that feeling of having shared activities, shared purposes, shared values with those who you're born to, that is lost. And so right now at this time in my life as a Swedenborgian minister with this community of misfits, where I am now feeling called to move in even more of a misfit direction with building the Helen Keller Spiritual Life Collaborative, stepping away from traditional ministry on Sunday morning in a congregational setting to seek to build a space where we can be in conversation and collaboration in new ways that have not yet been before. I am again wrestling with this desire to go my own way, this sense that this is the faithful thing to do, what I have been formed to do because of all that I have learned before, and because of this vision of a new church that I've been given. And I am wrestling, though, with sadness over some of the broken relationships that seem inevitable to me as we go our own way. I sometimes feel envious or frustrated that my church didn't provide a space for me where I could exercise my full gifts, and that I had to go my own way to create and build a space where I could fully be myself and fully bring into being what the divine is calling in me. So this is the tension where I am living at this moment. And I wanted to share it with you on this Tuesday of New Church Day Week, because I am feeling something emerging in this tension that I'm really excited about. And what's finally coming into being as I sit with this desire to go my own way and this desire for connection is just, I'm recognizing how much what I truly want is to build and create a space, a way of being in community where we can go our own way and we can be connected and cared for and nurtured along the journey. And I feel like the Swedenborgian Church of North America has been that for me and can be even more that for me and for others. And that part of my calling is to help it be even more that in the world. And I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I think we're only just getting started imagining and tasting what new church life can be. And I'm ready to really own that desire. I think it's a good desire. I think it's a worthwhile desire to have and to embody. I'm guessing there's a lot of people on the planet that would like to have both of those things, would like to be able to go their own way, be faithful to their own truth, be authentic and present to their own sense of what's real and what's good, and who want to be connected to other people, who want to be loved, who want to be cared for, who want to find ways of being together that are nourishing and grounding and stabilizing. So I'm owning it, and I am excited to really experiment with how I can be a beacon of that, a conduit for that within this community of misfits who I love so much. My current Swedenborgians and Swedenborgians yet to be. And so this Friday on New Church Day, I'm going to launch a new series that I'm going to call Notes from the New Heaven. And each week over the summer, I'm going to release a topical episode on a theological doctrine of the new church. And I'm just going to share with all of you how that doctrine meets my life, how it makes it better, how I struggle with it at times, and how I am learning to embody it and live it. And I'm going to offer up this series on Notes from the New Heaven, this doctrinal series, with the aim and the hope that in the fall, we'll gather groups together to be in conversation about these topics of the spiritual life. Because I don't want to just share my experience. I would love to hear yours. And I would love for us to make some more space to share with each other how we are embodying the life of the new church in our different, unique, beautifully diverse ways. And I believe we can do that in a way that is celebratory and where we are learning from one another, where we are belonging to each other and loving each other, and not where we are fighting or being conflictual or feeling like there's only one way. I believe that is the beauty and the diversity of the new church. And I am going to do everything I can to make space for there to be more and more room for us to go our own way and be connected. Because I believe we need both to feel whole and complete, and for heaven to really flow through us and between us. So that's my update personally and professionally, my Be Honest update for all of you on this New Church Day week. And tune in on Friday for the first episode of Notes from the New Heaven. And make note of which topics really speak to you. And I hope that you'll join me in the fall when we hold our larger Be Honest conversations about all of these theological topics, these faith topics, these conversations about truth and what's real. And I hope it will help us all to come to know more clearly what we believe, to share it with more people who might be looking for just those kinds of ways of living and being in the world, and where we'll find connection with each other. So that's my drive, my goal, my hope. And if that hope resonates with you, I hope you'll join me. All right,
it's the remembrance to be intimate, to be on